Awake, arise, or be forever fallen, they heard and were abashed, and up they sprung upon the wing, as when men, wont to watch on duty, sleeping found by whom they dread, rouse and bestir themselves ere well awake. Compares the condition of these fallen angels after having been thrown into the fire, into the pool of fire, the sea of fire. Milton compares their rising up as if they are caught by their master when they were supposed to be on duty. They are caught by the master in they are caught by the master asleep when they are supposed to be on duty, awake on duty, but as if they are found sleeping by the one they dread. Who do they dread? They dread their master. They are scared of their master. Now they rise when they see their master in dread, in dreadfulness, being scared of the master. They rise and bestir themselves ere well awake, as if they were in the same condition as if they were just about rising up from that sleep. So, not completely awake, not completely awake is ere well awake, before before well awake, completely awake. Nor did they not perceive the evil plight in which they were, or the fears pains not feel. Apart from this, this was the condition they were in. They were just rising up, having seen their master. They tried to rise up in front of their master, nor did they not. Two negatives make it positive. Two negatives in a sentence make it positive. This is another poetic technique used by the poets. Double negatives. Nor will cancel out with not. Nor did they not perceive the evil plight. It's not that they did not perceive the evil plight that had fallen upon them, which means they did perceive the evil plight in which they were, or even the fears, pains, or will cancel out with not. The fierce pains feel. They were feeling fierce pains. Yet, even then, to their general's voice, to their general's voice, again, what language is he making use of? General's voice. A general means a commander. To the commander's voice they rise. Yet, they were feeling the pain in their bodies. They were feeling the evil plight they were in. But still, when they heard the voice of their general, they obeyed. Innumerable they were. Now, what next follows as this as is again another simile. The simile is now not for how awake they were, how they sprung. Here, the explanation as is of how they sprung. The simile used here is of explaining how they sprung, and the simile used here is of explaining how innumerable they are. They obeyed innumerable. Now, this innumerable is not does not go with the sentence that is previous to. So, what is this technique, poetic technique called? If the sentence is broken, full stop comes elsewhere. In the middle of the sentence, what is this technique called in poetry? Anika, your poetry teacher spent some 2 months teaching you this poetic techniques. Tell me, what is this technique called?
मैम मैंने नहीं सुना सॉरी आप फिर से बोल सकती हैं प्लीज
I said there is a technique that has been used here. Full stop here. Innumerable does not go with the sentence, but full stop in the middle of a sentence. Yet to their general's voice they soon obeyed innumerable. Does this fit with the previous sentence? Or does this fit with the next sentence?
it does not fit with the previous
What is
sentence.
this technique called? Where the sentence is broken like that? What is this technique called? Begins with an E.
I don't remember.
Hmm?
Enjambment.
What is an enjambment? What is an enjambment? Come on, you know the word. What does enjambment mean? Where the sentences are broken like that in the middle of the verse. Yet to their general's voice they soon obeyed, innumerable, as when the potent rod of Amram's. Is this rod? Is this a noun or is this a verb or is this the tool rod?
Ma'am, it starts with a capital R, so it is noun.
Yes.
Noun, huh?
It's a noun. It's because the explanation says he is the sun in Egypt. So,
Moses. मैंने सर्च किया था कल ये सारा.
And what did you find?
Amram is the husband of some guy जिसका नाम Jochebed है, and he's the father of Moses and Miriam. So
Father of Amram is father
of Aaron. Aaron.
Who's Aaron in Arabic?
वो मैंने नहीं नोट किया था.
Who is Aaron in Arabic? Sounds similar. इसमें कहीं जाने की क्या जरूरत है? Harun alayhi salatu wasalam is Aaron. Okay. Amram in Arabic is spelled as Imran. He was the husband of, in Hebrew, Jochebed, and in Arabic, Yukabed, and father of Moses or Musa and Harun. As mentioned by his name, given name, Musa bin Imran, which means Moses is son of Imran. Does this make it easier?
Yes, ma'am.
So, whenever you figure out that there are names mentioned in Hebrew names taken from Bible, go to check Wikipedia and look for the names that you have in Quran for the same person. This family tree is very important even for you to understand Quran. Making sense of Quran is not easy if you don't know the family tree. Family tree is very important because this is basic divide between Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Basic division comes from the tree itself. Okay. Now, this is Imran alayhi salatu wasalam, and this is Miriam, Harun, and Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. This is back again. Now we have to look for equivalent of
Imran.
the rod of Imran.
Yeah.
What's the rod of Imran?
What is the noun there? So
Sorry?
मैम मैं बोल रही थी रॉड वहाँ पे एज नाउन यूज किया गया है तो इसी में लेकिन वो वाला रॉड।
Which rod?
मैम कुछ नहीं, नथिंग नथिंग नथिंग।
It's used as a noun? Yeah. No, tell me what is rod of Imran?
आई डोंट नो।
Really? Rod of Imran's son is rod of Musa.
ओके, रॉड ऑफ इमरान सन इज मूसा, रॉड ऑफ मूसा अलैहि सलाम की ये वाली रॉड।
Rod of Musa is. Have you never heard about the rod of Musa?
इस वो ये मैम असल में वो वाली रॉड है।
Ma'am, which turned
Yeah,
into
it's
a snake.
that. Yes, the rod that turned into. मैं आप स्पीकर पे सुन
Snake.
रहा हूँ बड़ा शोर हो रहा है. Yes, it's the
Ma'am, मुझे
rod that
earphone
turns
था.
into the snake. I can hear myself. The rod is the one that turned into the snake when he had to when he had a competition with the
Hold it.
magician of the
Hmm.
pharaohs, and the magic of the magician failed because Musa alayhi salatu wasalam threw his rod down, and by the which we in Arabic call with the izn of Allah, with the uh, command of Allah, it turned into a snake. As when the potent rod of Imran's son in Egypt's evil day because it was the dark ages, evil day in the sense of dark ages. In the dark ages, when he did that, waves round the coast, up called a pitchy cloud of locusts. So, how were these people, the people of Egypt?
Plague of locusts की तरह जो इजिप्ट में आया था जो.
Yes. So they were the punishment that came from God on these people was the plague of locusts. We saw a similar plague recently where? Where?
यहाँ पे भी था, यहाँ पे भी था।
No, no, I'm talking about the same plague of locusts was a recent phenomenon. Recently, it occurred in 2019 and 20. Makkah. Check YouTube videos for this. When the potent rod of Amram's son in Egypt's evil day waved around the coast, up called a pitchy cloud of locusts, warping on the eastern wind, that o'er the realm of impious Pharaoh hung like night, and darkened all the land of Nile. This o'er here is before. That o'er the realm of impious Pharaoh. Impious is simply impious, not pious. Pharaoh is the king. The kings in Egypt were called pharaohs. It hung like night, hung on the sky. So they were so innumerable in number, so innumerable. Locusts, otherwise single locust, the size of a single locust is very small. It's an insect. It's very small, like an insect. But when there is a swarm of locusts, they covered the sky in such a way that it appeared like darkness had covered the land of Nile. Land of Nile is Egypt. Another name of Egypt is
Egypt.
Land of Nile. So you find he makes stick similes not just from common day. You found similes from common day? You did. Second, you find similes from Greek and Roman epics that are pagan, basically pagan. And you also find similes taken from Bible. So numberless were those bad angels seen hovering on wind under the cope of hell, twixt upper, nether, and surrounding fires. So innumerable they were in hell. Now he compares that sky that he talked about in Egypt. This he compares here in fires. They were inside the fires, they were near the fires, surrounding the fires, all over the fires you could see these fallen angels. Still, as a signal given, the uplifted spear of their great sultan waving to direct their course in even balance down their light on the firm brimstone and fill all the plain. So they were like that, like swarms of locusts, moving in various directions as if. But now, when the command came in, what is this signal that he gives? Signal means he doesn't say it. The command is not verbal, it's in a signal. What's the signal?
Action.
Uplifted spare.
He lifts
The
his
spear up.
spear. The uplifted spear of the air, great sultan, waving. Now, great sultan. When you do post-colonial study of the text, this is where you find that tone. The uplifted spear of their great sultan. This is how sultans in Asian continents, or in the what Edward Said. Have you read Edward Said? Not yet. Okay, Edward Said is a Orientalist.
No.
Orientalist means one who studies Orientals and Occidents in comparison with each other. He studies Orients and Occidents in his text titled Orientalism. In Orientalism, he studies how this white man writes about the Orients as if they are the um, in a sense that how the demeaning image of the oriental is created by the white man writing. So here you have Milton writing about sultan. The sultan word is associated with the orientals because um, orientals called their kings sultan. The uplifted spear of their great sultan waving to direct their course in even balance down their lighting. Now, I said he compares them with locusts earlier because they are in all the directions. They are spread in all the directions, but now they are being aligned in one line like an army. Aligned means Align means to set in one line, to set in one
Line.
straight line. So what does he do? He just lifts his spear, and what happens? Everything comes in balance down. In balance, even not odd, even balance down the light on the firm brimstone. Brimstone is what is burning underneath. So coming down on brimstone means they settle down. Earlier they were in the air, above, everywhere, in all directions, but now they settle down, say, on the brimstones that are burning underneath to create the fire. Do you get my point? Easy to understand? Okay? So they are everywhere. On the firm brimstone and fill all the plain. Now, this is the same plain that he had referred to earlier when he asked Beelzebub, let's move to that plain, Ditha. Remember, Ditha? This is that same plain. The word plain was used for that plain. Now they are here. A multitude like which the populous north poured never from her frozen lions to pass Rene or Danau. What is Rene or Danau? When her barbarous sons came like a deluge on the south and spread beneath Gibraltar to the Libyan sands. Now, where is he now? He is also again making use of a simile. You have to figure out, is this a common day comparison? Is this a biblical comparison he does, or is it from Greek Roman traditions that this has been taken? You will do this on your own. This is how you will become experts of looking for similes in Milton. Okay, your homework. HW.
Find simile.
Yeah.
Type of simile.
Is this a common day simile? Is this taken from Bible, or is this from Greek Roman epics? So this is again the comparison for the multitude,
Multitude.
like for the innumerable. Now again for the multitude. So I begin where it ends, the comparison ends with the full stop. Forthwith from every squadron and each band, the heads and leaders thither hastware stood their great commander. Now, they were small legions within this big legion that Satan led. under him were, say, small sultans. They are called leaders by Milton. They all walk towards Satan. In front of him, stand before him, because he is there. This spelling is there. Their, there. Their great commander, godlike shapes and forms, excelling human, princely dignities, and powers that erst in heaven sat on thrones. And powers that erst before in heaven sat on thrones. So this is about all the powers who were very powerful in heaven before came walking towards the Sultan, their great commander. These were had godlike shapes and forms. They excelled humans because they are angels. There were many of them were princely dignities. And they had different powers that erst in heaven sat on thrones. Here, your second homework is, what is the political implication of this line? Who is walking towards whom? Though of their names in heavenly records now be no memorial blotted out and raised by their rebellion from the books of life. From up till this point, you will look for the political implications. What does it mean that be no memorial blotted out, as raised is erased by their rebellion from the books of life? What does he mean by books of life? That was something published in that time. The title is very like this, very important text of the time. Find that out. Who is the writer of this text? What are many different other philosophical writings of 17th century? I had asked you to go to David Hickey's, asked you to check. There is a book, very important text of this time, 17th century. Tomorrow you will give me the name of that book. You will give me the background to this one, political implications here, and simile usage here. Okay, is that clear with you? So I was talking about Orientalism. This is the person who wrote it. The title of the text is Orientalism in italics. It's published in 78. Do check the date out. 1978, I guess. That says Orientalism. Clear so far? Is it becoming easier or still very difficult?
Much more
Yes,
easier.
ma'am.
Starting में थोड़ा
Easier.
बहुत ज़्यादा